Planning a wedding is fun, but it is also extremely stressful at times. Acclaimed wedding planner Mitchell Kahn is here tonight to give us a few tips on how to plan the best wedding. Hi, Jason. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. I absolutely love weddings, so I'm really excited to talk about weddings. But before we dive into the planning of everything, coming from a wedding planner, when do you think is the perfect time to start planning? Like, is it immediately after you get engaged? Is it a few weeks, a few months? Like, when is the right time to start planning?
Well, there's not one size fits all. This is different for every couple. I do think after you get engaged, take a little time just to enjoy that newfound status before you dive right into the business of planning a wedding. It's going to be a special feeling, and as soon as you start looking at venues and trying to seek a date, it turns into a whole other part of the process. So I recommend savoring that for a little bit.
Okay.
Now, in terms of an overall timeline, it all hinges on if you can find a venue that you like on a date that's going to work for you, and that can be different for everyone. But in general, I'd recommend 6 to 9 months at least.
Okay. And when we think about wedding planning, we often think about the dresses, the food, the drinks, the guest list, the decor. But what's one thing that's often overlooked that you suggest that we put time and effort into planning that one out?
Well, you don't want to minimize the personal details. You want to give yourself time to think about everything that might not be on the list that you just thought of, such as determining who's going to be in your wedding party and having enough time to ask them and celebrate the fact that they're going to be, part of the process with you. And thinking about things like not only what the two of you are going to wear, but what you might ask your mom to wear or for them to wear, so they have time to shop appropriately.
Okay. So would you say those are the first steps we should do as soon as we figure out a date? Because I feel like the date is the most expensive part of the wedding.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's all important. Wedding planning is very much about multitasking. All of these things are going to have to get done at the same time. But a few key things that you have to do right at the beginning is map out your potential guest list so you know how many people you're looking for a venue that can hold, and map out your budget and know how much money you have to work with.
Yeah, speaking about money, weddings are extremely expensive. It's absolutely insane. But for those couples who might be footing the bill themselves and they want to have a nice, luxurious wedding, how do we go about doing that without breaking the bank? What are some things that you would say is, I would splurge here, but I can save a little bit of money over here too?
Well, again, these are decisions that a couple has to make because they're really different for every couple. Some couples tell me the number one thing they want is an amazing live band because they like the energy of that. As to where other couples tell me they really want to hear the original artist sing the songs, and so they would prefer a DJ. There's a big, big difference between the price point of those two vendors. So determining what elements like that are important to each couple is the number one step, so you can spend your money wisely. In terms of variables that I think are a great place to save, one is if you find a venue that is inherently beautiful and doesn't require a tremendous amount of decor, that's a great way to save in that category. And another thing is in the stationery. If you do digital save the dates and invitations, you will save all the cost of printing and postage.
Okay, I like that. And then speaking from a wedding guest, what would you say is the best gift to give a engaged couple?
Well, the best gift you can give an engaged couple is a new copy of We Do, the hottest book in the market in wedding planning. I think most couples like cash.
Yeah.
I mean, that's there's no way to be, there's no reason to mince words about it. That's what everybody really wants.
And in case we forget everything you literally just told us, you have a book that maps out all of these steps for us. Tell us a little bit about your book.
That's correct. I have just published a book that is called We Do, an inclusive guide to when a traditional wedding just won't cut it. And it is a total guide from start to finish for couples who might not have the luxury of hiring an in-person wedding planner to walk you through all the steps that go into planning a wedding, including a downloadable workbook to keep all of your information organized.
Oh, perfect. We're going to have to grab our hands on this. Thank you, Jason, for hanging out with us tonight and sharing all these tips with us.
Such a pleasure to be with you.
We'll be right back with more Good Day Stateline.